Hello, it is Tuesday afternoon and it is hot outside. So Graham and I got some bits and bobs done this morning while it was still cool. So first of all, we took the dogs for a walk before it got too hot for them to be out, because it is getting hot quite early at the minute. And then we realised all the apricots on the apricot tree had finished ripening. So I picked 3.5 kilos last week and I stewed them and pureed them and froze them. And we were waiting for the rest to ripen, and between the sun and the rain over the last few days, they've just all ripened at once. So we then picked all of those, and we picked another 12 kilos of apricots. So we've got about 15 kilos of apricots off our tree this year, which is just incredible. So later on this evening, I need to cut them and stew them and get them ready to put in the freezer, because some of them are right on the edge of not being good for very long. Then we got caught up in a little side quest. Today's Graham's last day off work. He goes back to work tomorrow. We're having some friends over for a pool party on Saturday because the weather's going to be amazing. And one thing we haven't bought since we've been back in the house is a barbecue. So we thought, we can't have a pool party without a barbecue. So we've been and we bought a barbecue in the sales. We got a really good deal from Barbecues Galore. And I also bought a charcoal spit roaster as well. So I've never done any spit roasting before, but I'm going to try spit roasting some chickens over potatoes. So we're going to have a trial run later in the week. I need to do some research and see what I need to do. Yeah, and then we're going to have a go at, doing a bit of spit roasting. So right now I'm going to get back to this red and pink costume and get this done because it's already 2 o'clock. So one of the changes I made to the skirt was that I wanted to put a longer waistband on it because I wanted it to sit on the hips, not the waist. So originally I'd done it so it sat right up on the waist. But when I put the bows on, it's hiding too much of the waist curve and it just made the waist area look bulky. So I want the waistband to sit right on the bottom of the hips of the corset. That way when the bows are on there, the bows are exaggerating the hips and we're keeping the waist small, which is going to help exaggerate that hourglass shape that the corset's already giving us. So I've cut a long strip of satin. Once I've pressed it, I'll gather the tulle onto it and then fold it in half and do another line of stitching. So I want it to be really narrow. The other thing I wanted to do was shorten it at the front. So what I've done to lift the front up is where I had it cut straight along the top and then it was coming down at a right angle. I've just cut that corner off so it curves down. So this part will lift up into the waistband and give us that nice sort of raised ruffly area at the front. And the other thing I want to do is get a nice overlap at the front. So that's going to overlap the ruffles and make it super ruffly at the front, but it also means it's going to hide the underwear and the bows a little bit more than how I had it before. I finished getting the new waistband on the skirt and I'm really happy with how it looks with the front lifted up. And I've just kind of pinned everything together so I can get an idea of the overall look now everything's coming together. So I've just roughly gathered and pinned the sleeves and pinned some bows on. I think they're going to be perfect. I'm very happy with those. Now, originally in my design, I drew this without the bow on the front, but I'm not entirely happy with how the fronts of these bows look, how they come together here. So I'm thinking it might need an extra bow at the front, but then is that too much with that there? But they look really good on the hips. If I turn it sideways, you can see how they look on the hips. And I think they look fine at the back as well. And I like that you can just see the bow on the back of the knickers through there as well. That's a really cute detail. So I haven't sewn anything onto the waistband yet. I think I just need to look at it for a little while and decide if I'm happy with it or not. All right, I'm going to leave that on the mannequin. I'm just going to keep popping in and looking at it until I decide what I want to do. Originally I'd drawn a necklace to go with it and I haven't had time to make it. So this is actually the necklace I made to go with my daughter's year 10 formal dress. I made her necklace and earrings and then there was a little pendant on the flowers as well. And I think it goes perfectly, so I'm just going to use that instead of making something new. All right, while I decide what I'm going to do with that dress, I'm going to start on my apricots. And I'm going to start with the ones that are already turning a bit yucky because they need to be done first. So all I do is cut them in half, take the stone out. They come really easily out of apricots. They're kind of loose in the middle. Cutting them in half, make sure there's no bugs inside them as well. The first 2 pots of apricots have been stewing for about half an hour now and they're almost there. They're not going to need much longer. And then we've got the rest of them halved and stoned and ready to stew once these ones are done. there wasn't too much waste. There was only one that had started to rot and one that had insects in, so not much waste at all from this lot. So the apricots have been stewing on the stove for about 2 hours, and I managed to get them all into the 2 pots. As it cooked down, I could put more in. So now I'm going to leave them to cool, probably overnight because it's quite late now, and then I'll put them through the food mill and puree them in the morning. There is a heat wave in Australia at the minute. It's getting hot everywhere. I think Adelaide's got 45 degrees or more today. It's not quite as hot here, but it's still going to be hot. So we got up really early. We've taken the dogs for a walk already while it was cool. Getting out before 7 o'clock is the only way to walk them at the minute because the evenings are staying really warm. So I've just had some breakfast, I've just done some emails and some admin stuff. The next thing I'm going to do today is just get these apricots pureed and in the freezer. I just left them out on the stove overnight. I need to put them through the food mill, puree them, and then get them in the freezer. I am going to leave some of the puree out though, because today I'm going to put the spit roaster together and have a go at spit roasting a chicken tonight. We love apricot chicken, so I thought I'd try and do an apricot glaze on the chicken as it's spit roasting. So to puree the apricots, I'm using my food mill and the disc with the smallest holes in. So I've got my food mill in a bowl, and that's going to catch the puree. Then I've got a big bowl to put the puree in as this one gets fuller. And I've got my first pan of apricots. I'm just using a ladle. As you turn it, the blades force the puree through the holes, but separate out any skins and lumps. If I lift that off, you can see we've got our beautiful puree, really smooth under there, and I can use that to make jam. I can use it in cooking. So many uses. I'm going to freeze it in separate Tupperware containers, so I can just take a Tupperware container out as I want to use it. Alright, I've got 2 pots of this to do. It's going to take me a while. The apricots are done. We've got 15 containers of puree. I kept 1 container with apricot halves in case I want some wholer pieces of fruit to use in a recipe in the future. 2 of those containers are going to friends. One's going to some friends who were here the other day who asked for some once they were ripe. And one's going to my daughter's boyfriend, who was a big help last night when we were stewing the apricots. And this is all the waste we've got left out of the 12 kilograms of apricots. So in here is all the pulp and the skins that came out when I milled it. And then there's the pits and just those 2, one that was rotten and one had insects in. If you've been watching my vlogs and my videos for a while, you'll remember my little daughter. I was like down here. She was super tiny. She's not so super tiny anymore. Are you taller than me? Stand up. Okay. You've overtaken me. Anyway, today's a very exciting day because you're about to turn 16, and in the ACT you can get your driving licence when you're 15 and 9 months. So you got your driving licence yesterday, day before, and today we are picking up Aaron's car.
Yay!
You excited?
I am excited.
Yeah.
No, it'll be very fun. So
you're looking forward to learning to drive?
I'm looking forward to driving and going places.
Yeah.
By myself.
Yeah. So she can't take a test till she's 17. So that gives us just over a year to teach her how to drive and get everything ready for your test to get your Bs. Yeah. She's been working at McDonald's here in Canberra since January and has saved really hard and bought herself her first little car.
Last year, January.
Oh yeah, it is the new year. So yeah, pretty much a year. Yeah. Wow, proud of you.
Hey everyone, so there has been a few changes since the last time I saw you, which was how many years ago now?
2019, early 2020 when we were in Disney, I think was the last time we vlogged together.
COVID, so yeah, like, you know, you all used to know me as Lily now. But now I go by Aaron, you know, just didn't really like the name and stuff and wanted to change it. And also my sense in fashion has changed drastically. When I look back at those old videos, I'm a bit cringy. So yeah, I'm excited to go pick up the car and stuff, and I just can't believe I'm growing up. You know, I'm going into year 11 this year, and yeah, so. And also I have requested to be Mum's new model for all her costumes and everything that she makes, so I'm very excited about that. Oh, it's bright.
How happy are you right now?
Very. I want to go driving.
Oh, it's so cute. Are you happy with it?
Very.
Hey, Erin's back from her first driving lesson. How was it?
Yeah, it was good. I didn't crash.
Yay!
And I didn't hit the curb, I think.
Did you just stay in a car park or did you drive?
No, we did a couple laps around this street here.
How did that go?
It was weird, it was weird. I moved.
Do you feel confident?
No!
But you got to start somewhere, so next time you'll be even more confident and you'll do better. So, well done. Proud of you.
Drove around and parked in the driveway.
You parked it.
Maybe.
Yay!
Yeah.
Good work. Proud of you, sweetheart.
Thank you.
She's finished. I'm so happy with it, and I've just filmed the end of the video, so I will start editing that later this evening. So it's 37 degrees outside at the minute. I've just checked the emergency services website. There's only a moderate fire danger today, and it doesn't look like there's a fire ban in place. So we are now going to build our portable spit roaster, and Max is excited because he's about to get a new box to sit in. We got this from Barbecues Galore up in Madura, and they had a Boxing Day sale on it. It was reduced from $119 to $70. I don't think I would have paid $119 for it, but there's 2 boxes, 2 cats get a box. These two are hanging out on a chair together, chewing a feather, and Max can't decide which box he wants to sit in. You going to get in a box too, Pixel? Yep, of course you are. She's built. She's plugged in. Does she work? Time to get a chicken out. Actually, time to fire up some coals, get them hot. We've watched lots of YouTube videos, so hopefully we kind of know what we're doing. So the plan is we want to use some of the apricots that we pureed this morning. So I've just looked online and found an apricot glaze for chicken. The recipe says to rub the chicken with salt and pepper and olive oil and a little bit of thyme. And then you cook that for an hour, and then you add your glaze, which is made of, it said white wine, I've only got rosé, I don't drink white wine. Honey, Dijon mustard, and then it said apricot preserve, but I'm just going to use our puree. That gets reduced in a pan, and then that gets put on about half an hour before your chicken's ready. And then the plan is to cook potatoes underneath it, so they get the chicken juices on. I'm going to cook them in some olive oil and a little bit of garlic oil and some salt and pepper. And they're going to go on at the same time as the chicken. And hopefully all the videos we've watched have given us good information and everything will be ready at the same time. So first up, potatoes. I'm going to leave the skins on. We like roast potatoes with skins on here, so I'm just going to cut them to about 1 inch size because that should cook in time, hopefully. Some of the videos we watched had used much bigger potatoes and they cooked them before they started, but hopefully this size should cook no problem in the time that we've got. So the potatoes have got salt and pepper, olive oil and garlic oil on them. So for the glaze, I'm just going to make up the quantity. So I'm just going to put a little bit of rosé wine in there. I'm going to do a couple of big spoonfuls of the apricot puree, a big teaspoon of honey. So this honey was from a hive we briefly had here. So one of Graham's colleagues is a beekeeper and he had more bees than he had room for. So we gave space for a hive. He did all the work, we provided the space, and in return we got the honey at the end of it. Unfortunately we had to give it back when we knocked the house down, so no bees at the minute. One day we'd like to have bees again. Alright, then I'm going to put in a teaspoon of mustard and then a bit of salt and pepper. Alright, and I'm going to just cook that really low while it reduces. Now's the bit I don't want to do because I've got to touch the chicken.
Okay.
Yeah, do you want to do the chicken? It's good, his legs are held in. So I was vegetarian for a very long time, and I've only just started eating meat again in the last year, and I still don't like touching most of it, so.
I don't like touching meat.
Baby steps. I'll get there. Now I'm going to stay and guard of the chicken till it goes on, otherwise the cats will come up and lick it. It's on. The potatoes underneath the chicken stopped a lot of heat coming up, so we've put them at one end, and we'll just move them underneath at the last minute once the apricot glaze is on. So it's been on about an hour now. The coals were running out of juice, so I put some more on, and I've just put the potatoes under the chicken just to keep any smoke off it while they get their glow on. I did start them in the kettle, but I needed to get them on because I was losing heat. And then I've got a third lot started in there, so if I lose heat again before it's done. So once the flames are gone, I'll move the potatoes back to one side again. Alright, it's been on about an hour and a half now. Yeah, it definitely slowed down when the coals went low, but since I put the new coals on, it's doing brilliantly. So now it's almost up to temperature in the middle. I'm going to add my apricot glaze. That's how that turned out after just reducing it for about an hour. So I'm just going to use my silicone pastry brush to put it all over the chicken. Cool. Hopefully all the honey in that will make it go nice and caramelized on the surface. It's been on for 2 hours now and it's pretty much there. We're just waiting for it. It just needs to come up to 75 and it's at nearly 74, so 5 more minutes and it should be done. But it smells amazing and looks amazing and I can't wait to eat it. What's the verdict, everyone? Hit. Sorry it's so late, it took a lot longer than I thought, but
It's beautiful.
beautiful. We'll do it again.
Yeah,
Well.
absolutely.